success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever.
Welcome to Weekly Success Stories at Funding Pips, guys. My name is Paulina and I am your trading psychology coach. And today we are joined by someone who didn't just set goals, he went out and executed them. Live from Uganda, we have Fahad with us, and he's a trader who made a bold decision to trade excuses for results. And when I say results, I am not talking about potential or promises. I'm talking about a proof. Because we have 50,000 in rewards here, and it isn't a story of someone who's trying. This is a story of someone who's already winning and is at the top. And this is something about this trader and his mindset, discipline, and determination, and for all of that to come together. So Fahad, the stats are speaking loud and clear about your success, and today I cannot wait to hear about your story. So where did it all begin?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share out my story with traders. So I appreciate Funding Pips for this opportunity. So it all began in 2013 when I got a spinal cord injury through an accident. After getting an injury, I had to spend most of 8 months, almost 8 months in Mulago Hospital. That's the main hospital in Uganda. So I spent 8 months in the hospital, and doctors told me I can't move anywhere. I will never move again. All they could do, because I had also broken the hand, so all they could do is do a simple surgery on my hand so that I can write again, I can learn how to sit again, then I go back to school. Yeah, so going back to school, then I started in Form 2, trying to do this, education, our education system in Africa. I tried my best to be always number one or among the best 5. So being among the best, I always either first or second. So I thought maybe if you perform well, you can be a class monitor, you can be a leader in the class. And then my English teacher was like, you know what, you have a disability. How would you control these people? How would you take the books? You get? So I was like, this was a sign to me. It was like, even if I do better with education, out there in the world, it will be difficult for me to get a job. It would be difficult because if they have showed it to me instantly when I'm still in school, so it means someone hiring a person with a disability, it will be a difficult job for me. So that's when I started to think another option. What should I do? How can I earn money? How can I be independent without being employed? How can I be independent? How can I live by myself? You get? So then that's when I decided to start searching on Google, looking for what to do. I tried many businesses. Then I went to options. Then I was like, these options keep on kicking me out, but they are showing Euro USD. They are showing GBP USD. How can I understand? How can I know that in the next 5 minutes, GBP USD will be at this price? So I was like, let me go and search for Euro USD on Google. So searching on Google Euro USD, then Forex trading came to my face. Then they were talking about technical analysis, they're talking about fundamental analysis. So I was like, you know what, I've been dealing with something which is so deep, I didn't even know what I'm doing. What is fundamental analysis? What is technical analysis? So that's when I started going into this trading industry.
Wow, you took my breath away for that story, because this is a true voice of determination where the odds were against you, where perhaps even people were questioning, well, how are you going to do it? and you knew in your head you will, that there is
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah.
And not only that you chose this path, you completed this path, you are on the way of completion, because you are going to complete and accomplish way more, but you actually committed to it and you achieved, because a lot of traders don't. So this is the part where I want to explore, because it's beautiful how you accomplish something. So I now know, and we know as in the audience, how you started, and we know where you all came from, wanting the independence because of what happened. Now, how did you come across funding pips on that journey?
Yeah. So in 20, I started serious trading started in 2015. That's when I started this trading, because I had to give less time to the education, this education of ours, and I give more time on trading side. So as you know, you are in a wheelchair. 2015, I didn't know any trader in Uganda. Okay, so many people used to call it gambling. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have access to anybody. And even if I wanted to, I'm someone who is in a wheelchair. I'm still using
Mm,
oxygen, always seated there in a wheelchair. They bring everything for you. You're always on your phone, always on your phone, just doing what they call gambling to them. Uh, then I started practicing on demos. I wanted to build my trading. I wanted to build my, how can I say, my trading skill.
mhm.
Okay, I wanted to build my trading skill, uh, because I thought there is a perfect way to be accurate. 100% you are going to win Monday up to Friday. You get, so I wanted to make it perfect, but I kept on failing. So that's when the other thing came in, that maybe my problem is capital. Maybe I need bigger money. I need a lot of money to make it in trading. So that's when I was like, you know what? I started doing account management. You know, many people always face this. You do
Yes.
account management, you are a beginner, you end up losing people's money, and you still, because when you lose someone's money, for example, you are managing an account for someone, for them,
Mm,
they feel it. They'll be like, you know, Matt, this guy has lost, we have lost $100 with this guy. You get, but most of them don't think that it is actually more impactful to the trader psychologically. You get, so
yes,
I
of
always like,
course.
yeah, I was always like, you know what, my psychology is always disturbed whenever I lose someone's money. So I need my own money. That was the goal why I wanted to join this industry.
Mm,
So then in 2018, I'll not mention some of the farms. We had some farms. They were brand new. And I was like, you know what, let me try this. And trying them, I didn't feel like I owned this money. Yes, they give me an account, but I don't feel like I own it. You get, because as a person who had traded for some good time, I had that feeling of trading real funds, real money, having my own money, taking my own profits, but I wanted something which could make me feel like, you know what, this is your own money. Okay. Whenever if you need your money, you receive your money. If you need your profits, you receive your profits instantly. You get, so some of the firms started disappointing me. Okay.
mm,
So some firms disappointed me. Going to another firm, it disappoints me. When you make 2K, they give you 2K. When you make 10K, they bring in a rule you don't know. You didn't know about it. They just updated it and it's affecting you. And I was like, you know what? Let me go back to the brokerage thing, because I had collected some small money, like 10K. 10K in
yeah.
Uganda, that's like 36 million in Uganda.
Mm,
I was like, I'm someone with a disability. I'll be earning, even if I make $1,000 per month, that's 3.2, 3.6 million UGX. So that's enough money for me to survive. And I'm still a student, by the way. I was in, that was 2018, that was Form 4. So I was like, you know what, I'm still a student. This money will be enough for me. So,
yeah.
as a trader, when you start trading on any platform, you always set a goal, but that's not a fixed goal. It can either be more good or more bad.
Yes.
You get, so I ended up scaling these accounts, making a lot of money, and then I faced issues with the brokers. So there is a certain broker I was using during that time, and The broker was like, you know what? Maybe you provided a wrong Bitcoin wallet address. You get, they are showing that they sent the money. And I even had to email them. I was like, you know what? You was scamming someone with a disability. This is my last. This is my only hope. Because I had lost focus on education. So there was no turning back. So meaning these guys wanted me to start from zero. So I just had to give up on brokers also. Then I was like, what should I do next? I think I should go back to farms because farms used to give me some small funds. So then one day I was discussing with my young brother, because I was teaching him trading. So I told my brother, you know what? We need a farm whereby we own the money. When you make profits, you receive the profits. You know, when you have a complaint, they respect the complaint. So that's what it means to own your money as a trader, because trading is already difficult. Many people don't accept it, but that's the reality. Trading is already difficult. This is a business which rotates around emotions. So I was like, trading is already difficult. Now, withdrawing money should not be difficult. It should be easy. You know, when I have an issue, my issue should be solved there and then, because the more they disturb me, the more my psychology is being disturbed. And I will still lose that money at the end. So then it was 2022. 2022, I started seeing when people talking about this funding PEEP, you know, something it's new, something new. I have been in this industry for so long. One of the biggest farms had already closed, you know. I had a 200K account with that farm. The farm had already closed. They have cases in the court. And then there is this new farm. They are talking about it. It is paying, and payments are instant. I was like, you know what? I think let's try it. And then buying an account, they brought in Black Bull. Black Bull was the server we are using.
Yes.
Looking at Black Bull, looking at the spreads, you know, I first bought a 10K account. Looking at the spreads, I could see that it's because here in the brokerage world, when you are going to deposit, you choose a professional account, you choose a standard account, a zero spread account. And these guys were giving me almost raw spreads. The spreads were good.
Yeah.
And I think these people are good. So I started trading with them. I breached my first account and everything was clear. I could see that I was the problem. You get. So remember, I'm trying this funding PEEP. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have someone to guide me how trading works. And the only thing I believed which would guide me how trading really works, it was these prop firms, because they had the rules. The people who used to give me to manage their funds, they had the rules. But these people who used to give me rules, they were not traders. You know, for example, someone says that, you know, trade, don't lose today's profit. In trading, that's not, we can lose today's profit, and even the initial balance can be lost. You get, but the rule is don't lose today's profit. So I was like, I need realistic rules. Then these guys came, they didn't have consistency rule. As I was struggling, breaching small accounts, improving my trading, because I always say it, even when I'm doing when I meet people, traders, when I meet people in interview, I even posted it even before funding people inviting me to have this story here. I posted it and I was like, you know what? Funding people has taught me trading, because I never had a mentor. But funding people taught me trading. How? Because they could set rules which are possible for any trader. And if not them, even an investor, if someone is giving you $1 million, is also going to give you almost the same rules to protect their capital.
Yeah.
You get? So I was like, whatever rule they bring in, let me try to bend over it to see how I improve myself. And that's how it came in. Someone who started buying 10K, I won't lie, I was breaching them because I was almost still improving my trading. Okay, so I used to breach them 10K, 5K. Then after, when they came in, I bring this 5 days, you know, funding people started changing since they started bringing in the withdrawals of 5 days. Okay, many rules started coming in, and most of the people I had recommended to funding people, they were like, you know what, these guys keep on bringing rules, and I was like, no, they are trying to help us. For example, there is this rule. Funding people had a rule whereby you didn't have to copy trades on your accounts. Okay, a trade whereby you didn't have to copy trades on your account. Many people used to see it as a negative thing, but for me, it was okay for me. I was like, they are protecting my capital.
Absolutely.
Because if I take a losing trade on 2 accounts, I'm losing both accounts. You get? I was like, for me, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'll buy my account. If it doesn't work out, then I buy, instead of buying 2 accounts and I lose all of them. You get? Then they brought in the 3% rule. And one of my brothers was like, you know, how are you going to trade with the 3% rule? I was like, think about this. If you are a trader, okay, I have brought my $1 million, okay, and we set rules and you are risking 3% per trade. Will I be happy? No. So that's normal discipline. You get?
Absolutely.
So that's how I ended up in funding people, and whatever rule they have been bringing, it has been improving me. Because if you look at the spreadsheet on the website, which shows my rewards, you'll see that it is just increasing in size. Get? Also, if you go and check if you check the breached accounts, the pace on which I used to breach accounts lowered down because of the 3% rule. You get? Because of that. I was this trader. Okay. I was this trader who used to risk 1%. After risking 1%, when the market goes against me, I add trades. You get? I was adding trades on losing trades. But since the 3% rule, I was like, you know what? I don't want to lose my account on a 3% breach. It only happened to me once, ever since it was launched. Why? Because it was working out for me. I couldn't lose a lot of accounts. I could only lose, actually, the accounts I breached, even when you check this year, the accounts I've been breaching this year, I've breached some accounts also because I want to be straightforward with it. But the accounts I have breached this year, they have breached because we know in the trading you can do everything right and still lose. You get? So the accounts I have breached this year, you see that they go up to 10%, not 5% or 8%, up to 10%. So that's like 2 weeks of trading an account and I lose it. So that's how I ended up into funding pips, and that's how it has helped me to improve my trading.
Amazing. What a story. And you're an amazing storyteller. I must tell you that as well. That's another skill that you should add to your skill set. And there's 2 things that I'm getting out of how you actually got to funding pips and that journey of actually getting to this point, to the point everybody till Fahad was actually receiving the rewards. It was a long journey because he didn't file reliability with other firms, with brokerages. There were hurdles after hurdles after hurdles. Him thinking, I'm engaging in only chance here for me. And those people are denying either the money or they're saying, I've not provided the right information, and he's just not aligning. And what did he do? He continued because he continued. He had a vision. He had to accomplish a certain goal despite all of the blockers that were really facing him. And you know why? Because of the goals. When you believe in yourself, you know you will get it. It's the matter of time. It's the matter of when rather than if. It's the matter of, it may happen in a month, it may happen in 2 years, but I am going to make sure it is going to happen. So if you ever are faced with anything in your life, in trading, in anything at all, think of Fahad's story, because I will for sure that he had a vision and he continued. Then even when he ended up at funding pips, he started breaching accounts because then he thought, actually, there is some additional work that I need to do on myself. And he did. And may I ask, Fahad, what was the period of time until you reached consistency? So from the moment that you started trading to then coming to funding pips And then whilst being at Funding Pips, like what was the period of time when you finally thought, okay, I am consistent now?
Yeah, I think I started being I can say being consistent. It started in 2023. 2023. Like I always tell traders, because I always interact with many traders, mostly in Uganda and in East Africa. I always interact with them. I used to tell them, actually, I was one of the happiest person when our CEO Khalid, okay, for here in Uganda, some of us we call him our father, because when he launched, he brought small prices whereby even an ordinary Ugandan here could afford it. So we are happy when he introduced these psychological lessons, because I used to tell people that, because I have seen it all, the problem wasn't always the strategy, it has always been us, me, you get. But it took me a long time to understand it. Maybe I would have been profitable a long time back, okay? But I could always blame brokers, spreads, but I couldn't look into myself, you get. So when this prop firm came in and they were putting out rules, so these rules could help me. They could always remind me that no, it is not the broker, it is not Trump, it is not Biden, it is me. It is me who has not followed the rules. Serious, why should I risk 3%? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See, for example, I always trade Nasdaq. Okay. But sometimes you don't even wait for the market to open, the stock market to open, and you end up trading earlier. Okay. Sometimes you see that it is clear the momentum is not there, the candles are very small, the market is not moving, but you end up executing trades. You get. So it recent here in 2023, after looking into myself, that's when I could understand it, that you know what, at least the biggest risk I can go, it is 1%. As soon as I lose 3% per day, I come back the next day, because the market is open. The market is a pool of many opportunities. So I always tell people that the most important thing, it's not ICT, it's not supply and demand, because even someone who is trading price action, when I was actually, for me, the time when I was learning how to trade, the most trending strategy during those days, people could only focus on price action. Okay. But when I tell traders of today, people who have started learning trading today, I always tell them that the market has two things. For me, this is how I structure the market. The market has two things. For me, I always look at the language and also the blueprint. Okay. What's the language of this market? It's always the candlesticks. Like someone who can't talk, okay, because the course I did is more of people with disability. People who can't talk, they use sign language. You get. They end up using braille when they are writing. So that's also that's how the market also is. Okay. If you can't understand the language of the market, that's the candles. Okay. If you can't understand it, then you can't understand what the market is trying to communicate to you. Okay. So then the second thing, it's the blueprint. The blueprint of the market is price action. No matter how we call it, we can call it supply and demand, we can call it ICT. Okay. ICT, for me, this is how I see ICT, supply and demand, SMC. For me, I just take those as entry models. Okay. These entry models are going to base on the blueprint, the price action. What is the price action saying? So after understanding the blueprint, then you have to know when to enter. What is going to help you when to enter? It's going to be the entry model. You can use ICT or supply and demand. But two things matter, the language and the blueprint. So those are the things for me I always focus on.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And you know what? What you said about the rules of Funding Pips, I completely agree with you, because that's a framework. If a lot of traders, especially new traders who just started trading and, you know, they can get into the prop firms, and if they actually started in brokerages, depositing their own money, they would have lost way more money than actually being with a prop firm, because you have no limits. And genuinely, I've been trading for almost 7 years, 6.5 now, and I have gone crazy out there, you know, just boom, boom, trade, 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 trade. You have no limits, because you are learning. You have to learn your limits. It's almost like being a kid, because kids, as they grow up, they learn their limits by making mistakes, by doing a lot of different things. That's how you learn in the markets too, by making those mistakes. But those mistakes on your personal accounts are without any control. Whereas here, at least, there is a framework that you need to stick to, and the damage is not as much, which is really important. Amazing. The way you talk about the market, by the way, that, comparing to Braille language, that the market has its own language. Absolutely. And I even think that every single pair has, every single instrument has different behavior and different way of moving, and you have to learn that, really feel it as well. Now, I want to talk about the rewards, because all of that beautiful story led you to an amazing success. $50,000 in rewards. That is phenomenal. But I want to talk about reward that was the most impactful and memorable for you. Whether that was the first one, whether that was the latest one, which one was it that created the biggest impact for you?
Okay, so this is the issue. That's why when I made a post. I don't know if some people saw it. I made a post talking about funding pips. I was like, because it was coming out deep. It was coming deep from me. I talked about funding pips. I brought it jokingly. I was like, you know what, funding pips should stop even marketing, because it's now what we have. It's what we have. You get, because anyone has access to this, from the CEO even up to the last person. You get, it's all we have. It has changed lives. So this is the point. As I told you, back in 2015, 2016, as I was learning trading. So remember, I was in a wheelchair. I didn't have money. I was telling people about trading. They didn't even understand it. They were like, you know what, this guy maybe is doing gambling. And all of the people didn't even, no one, only my mother came up. Others were calling me a gambler. But my mom was like, you always seated there. You're always on those candles. You're always on those charts. If it gives you peace, do it. How can I help you? You get? So I was like, you know what, mom, maybe I need capital, because I was trading demos and I was tired. I was like, you know what, I need real money coming.
Yeah.
So she used to give me $100. I lose. Then we come back, the same story. I lose. You get? So during that time, I think my mom lost a lot of money. It's not me who lost the money. My mom lost a lot of money. So she ended up in debts. She's a teacher. She's a government teacher. She only receives the monthly salary. So she ended up in debts. And the good thing, she was always telling me about them. So my mom, she's my friend. We could share everything. Okay. Even up to today. When I make money, she knows. Okay. When I lose money, she'll be the first person to know. So we made a lot of losses with mom. Even she had a small land. She sold it because I told her we needed more money. So she sold the land. She gave me the money, and still we lost that money. So I was even almost giving up. But after getting my payout recently, 2023, after getting the payout, I was like, you know what, mom, bring the list. Those who are demanding, let's clear them off. We started one by one. You get, I used all of my money to do that. I only remained with 1,000 of the 5K. I remained with 1,000. This 1,000, and I always advise traders to do so. If you receive your payout, always keep at least 30% of it. While keeping 30% of it, it is going to help you in two ways. Okay, first, you are going to trade without emotions, because you will be like, you know what, even if I happen to lose this account, I still have a backup. I'll buy another account. Okay. Second thing, that 30% you are keeping aside can actually be scaled, because if I'm at maximum allocation with funding pips and I'm always keeping 30% as my backup account, this is not savings, it's money for funding pips strictly. For me, I use there is a certain app I use which I use to manage my expenses. Okay, I have where I listed funding pips accounts, so that money goes strictly for funding pips. Whenever I lose my account, I don't run out. I don't start shaking. As long as I have backup, I can buy more accounts as much as I can. I don't want to go back from where I started 10K accounts. No, 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 no. I don't want to go back. I
Yeah.
can buy as much accounts as I want. So I only kept 1,000 and we used the rest of the money to clear off the debts of my mom. So that's the payout which was special for me. Very special for me.
You know, my cheeks are hurting me from smiling and my jaw, because it's truly amazing. It's truly amazing that you had that one person that believed in you, in your goal that seemed unreachable, that costed money, that costed sacrifices from your mother, and she still believed in you. I know you will make it, son. And I believe she believed in you because she saw your ambition, your work ethic, and your focus on what you want to achieve. It didn't come from nothing. It didn't come from not putting in the work. She saw you and she saw the effort you are putting in. And that's truly amazing. And I am so proud of you. I met you for the first time. By the way,
Thank
I've met Fahad here for the first time. We did not meet before, because we actually wanted to create this impact of hearing his story for the first time. And I love everybody's story because everybody's got such a unique walk of life that they had engaged into, and there were different hurdles that all of us had to kind of face to reach to this point. Because, there's this funny saying when people say, oh, he just got lucky, but they don't know the years of the sleepless night, of crying, of being, stressed, of people believing in you, of putting yourself in debt. They don't know that pain, and people say, no, you're gambling, this and the other. So every trader who actually gets to this point, I'm so proud of every single one of you. But your story and your determination, whenever I feel like, something did not work out in the markets or feel some kind of emotion, I will think of you. You will be my anchor that's going to bring me back and say, I've got this. Let's move it forward. Genuine.
Thank you so much.
Now, Fahad, I want to learn more. What are your goals? Now, we know your story. We know the impact of the rewards as well. But what are your further goals? Now you have achieved a great deal of success, of rewards. What's next?
Yes. So my goal has always been simple, and I have been always sharing it with many people. If you have been from where I have, the things I have seen, because let me tell you a simple story. I was in senior 4 at school, and my mom didn't have money, and my father wasn't also doing well. He didn't have money. So I had a weak wheelchair. The wheelchair I was using ever since I left the hospital. So it couldn't help me anymore. Whenever I was going to school, you find that the wheel is throwing the mud where I'm sitting. You get, so you reach at the school when you are dirty. So mom was like, you know what, we can go through those charities. We can get a wheelchair for you, and maybe we can get school fees for you too. But I didn't want to mention this here, but most of the charities we went in here in Uganda, most of the charities for persons with a disability, it is for born agains. You get, so in most cases wherever we went, and mom, she's a Muslim, she always covers herself, so they could always deny us. Okay, they were like, you know what, it's services for born agains, and we faced a lot of challenges finding a wheelchair. And I always told my mom that when I make it up there, I want to start an NGO which is not going to care about Muslims, religions, tribes, country. I want to be providing free wheelchairs. Those are the things I'm targeting. That's what I'm looking at. And I didn't want to see anyone go through what I saw, because imagine not having a wheelchair, and you go to a charity where you think you are getting a wheelchair from. The wheelchairs are there, you can see them, but you can't go back with one at home. So my plan is simple. I'm targeting. I pray it works out. I'm targeting maximum allocation with funding pips, because if why funding pips? The people around me know that I because the money I make in funding pips, I can buy from other prop farms too. You get, but I know they will pay me today, but tomorrow no. Okay, if they pay me for a month, another rule will come in. Okay, so I decided, because I have seen what it means to trade big accounts. I have traded them before. I have ever managed an account for someone, almost 200K real funds. Okay, so I know how a lot of money feels, real funds, and I know how consistency feels, because funding pips is bringing out that consistency thing. Okay, so I pray to get a maximum allocation on funding pips. As soon as I get maximum allocation on funding pips, all I need is 10% per month. Okay,
Yeah.
because I receive payouts too. I receive two payouts per month. So all I need is 10%. So meaning 5% per payout. So my target is to target at least 150K in payouts. Okay, with that money, that's a lot of money here in Uganda. I can do any kind of charity I want. Okay, because I'm not someone who wants to be with a lot of things. People who have been following me, I don't know if you can even look in the charts, you will see that people who have been following me on my social medias, I'm someone who wants to be low key. Okay, someone who wants to be low. Why? Because I know what is out there in the world. Okay, people are struggling. People don't want to see that you have made it. People want to know how you have made it. Like how we are here. People want to know how have you made it, not what I have. You get? So those are the things I'm focusing on. 100K in payouts, and my first thing is an NGO, because those wheelchairs are not expensive. Wheelchairs are not expensive. The crutches are not expensive. These are the things which people need. People with disability. If you come in East Africa and you see how these people are growing down in mud, those are the things which used to push me. Whenever I breached an account, and I'm like, you know what, I have to buy another one there and then. Otherwise, I'll be at the streets. You get, I'll be homeless if I stop. Okay, there is actually, we had a scenario in 2024. 2024, I lost all my fundings, and I had only remained with $500. Okay, I only remained with $500, and I was sitting with my young brother, and he was like, you know what, maybe you should go for another 100K. I was like, you know what, this is my last, so I have to divide it. I have to go back to 10K. If I go back to 10K, all I should be targeting is 10%. That's another 1,000. I think I can use that to buy another 10K instead of risking all my last on one account, because I know how it works. If that's your last, I always told people that never trade with your last money. The only money you have, never, because it's not going to work out. Even if you're a professional, even if you work on the Wall Street and it's the only money you have, you ain't making any money with it. You are going to lose it. You get?
Yeah.
So that's why I used to see those things, people crawling. I went at Chambogo University. I was at Chambogo University. I was taking the faculty of people with disability. And I could see people who come from villages. They come to town to study. They have a disability. They don't have wheelchairs. Someone has to wait for his friend or her friend to finish a lecture. Then he brings back a wheelchair. They are sharing a wheelchair. But it's like sharing shoes. You get? So those are the things why I kept on trading, even today. Because Making 50K in funding pips, it's just a beginning. It's just the
It is.
beginning.
It is. And I really hope you are going to achieve. No, let me reword. I know you will achieve it. I know you will achieve it. With learning about your story, knowing you now, and you really opening up to all of us and telling us the real piece, the real you, and what matters to you, I know you will achieve it. And I know that when we are going to hit that target, and I'm saying we because you are our trader, it's us growing together. When we hit that target, we will meet here and we talk. And whether that's going to take 6 months, whether that's going to take next 2 years, it doesn't matter. I know it's happening. And I know we are going to revisit that conversation. And honestly, you're an amazing human being. Let me just put it out.
So much.
An amazing human being. You're an inspiration. Now, I want to talk about something which is a community, because you said no one really believed in you, and there was only your mom. Now, did you find any connections in our Funding Pips community on Discord, any other traders that you could rely on? Because I think that's extremely important. It's beautiful you had your mom, but then also, to be honest, the way your mom supported you, it's as if she understood what it's like to be a trader. It's very unique. But then, you know, us traders, we understand each other on a deeper level because we know the struggle. I know exactly what it feels like. I went through so many struggles myself. So did you find anyone that you could share your journey with, or talk about charts together, or support each other?
So this is actually, it's funny for me because when actually you have said there, my mom is like, she knew she knew how trading is, but my mom, she's a teacher of business. She teaches commerce and entrepreneurship. So I think she just cared about the determination maybe I had, but connecting with the traders for me, I've been left out so much. That's what I can tell you. Even today, in funding pips, I've contacted Khalid so much. I love Khalid so much because I remember when it was my only money. I had 4K a profit. So I was sick. I was very, very sick. So I was counting on Khalid because I was, you know what, they'll process my payout. They'll process my payout in 14 days, you know. So I waited for payout. Then Rise, we had issues with the raise pay during that time.
Yeah.
So I went and explained to Khalid in the inbox on Twitter. I told him, I'm someone with disability. Okay. Right now I'm in hospital. The only money I'm counting on is the money which is locked with the Rise pay. You know, it's like a Khalid knew me, the speed he used, the aggressive way he demanded the Rise pay, the threats he put on Twitter for Rise pay, you know, and it took me like 2 days. 2 days I had received my money. You get. But in most of cases, I've been left out. Even here in Uganda, when you come here in Uganda, for me, people to know me, actually, they don't know Fahad Kabenge. They know WCK. They call me WCK, which means wheelchair king. That's what they call me here. Why? I'm self-made. Okay? People seeing me, brokers I was trading with, okay? I was trading with brokers like XNS. I was trading with brokers like IC Markets, and like brokers with TBS. Those brokers knew me. And they could invite me to their live sessions when they meet people. They meet in public. So people used to like what I say, because I say facts. When it comes to trading, I say facts. I don't give people false hope. So that's how people came to understand me. I created the social medias of WCK. I created the Telegram channels. You get. At first, because, you know, as I have told you, I'm someone who wants to help others. Okay. At first, I created my TikTok channel. The reason I created my TikTok back then, it was to tell people facts. You get. And I was like, you know, when you start saying facts, like even here, if I leave this Discord, this live today, people will start coming in my inbox. How much is your mentorship? You know, Even me, I used to believe in mentorship. I have ever provided it. I used to believe in signals. I have ever provided them. But as myself, I went back. Signals, you send signals and someone is not online, but they paid. You get mentorship. Someone says, WC, I want your mentorship. You are a person with disability. You can't meet them physically. Mentorship is going to be online. Like it or not, it's not going to be effective. You get? So after thinking about that mode, I was like, you know what? Even if when you go to my social medias now, I made it clear. I no longer provide mentorship. I no longer teach. I'm only passing out facts. I wake up in the morning, I make my small video, I put it there. Why? Because my mentorship will not be effective. Because trading is a technical business. You have to sit with me here. Okay. I take trades when you are seeing. Okay. I tell you reasons why I'm taking that trade, why I'm putting my stop loss there. Okay. Why I'm doubling my risk. Because there are scenarios when you have to double your risk. Okay. And there are scenarios when you have to lower your risk. I'm not going to explain that online. You're not going to understand it. You have to sit with me. We go through the stages of emotions together. When we are happy, we are happy. When we are scared that our stop loss is going to be hit, we have to feel it together. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop there. So doing that, it forced many traders to let me out. Okay? Because whenever they invite me on their interviews, I'm going to tell them facts that signals will not work for you. Because someone will ask me, Fahad, who mentored you? And I'll be like, no one. Most of the mentors will ask them, who mentored you? No one. Then why do you believe in mentoring another one?
Yeah.
You get? So that's why I've been left out. I have not made many friends in trading. No. Even as I'm speaking now, the people I meet, the traders I meet, we are just talking about trading. No one wants to know what I go through. You get? So the only person I be with, most people who follow me, they know, is my young brother who's always pushing my wheelchair. Okay? And the only reason, I think one of the reasons why he's also with me, it's because we have gone, some of the things we have gone through it together. Okay? When he was still in school, I was paying his tuition. You get? So he was still studying, I was paying for tuition. I was feeding him. So he was like, you know what, trading works. So he's my friend, I might say is my friend, is the one I move with, is the one who is always at my back pushing my wheelchair. So the trading industry for me, it has given me a very big gap. I've been left out so much. I made a post yesterday. Yesterday I was commenting on a post which was made about this, and I was appreciating Funding Pips and Khalid, Funding Pips team, because who am I? I don't think I'm the one who has made the biggest payout. I'm not. People have made money in Funding Pips, because if I didn't see those people making money, then I wouldn't be part of Funding Pips.
Yeah.
I've seen Funding People listing their wallet, their crypto wallet online, and money is there, and we see money is there. It's up to me to get some money from that wallet. It's up to me. So imagine such a company saying, like, you know what, Fahad, I think you are doing well. You are trading well. Let's hear your story. That was, you don't know what it means to me, because not many people do that to me.
I'm really, I'm so happy to hear that, because, you know, in a lot of those conversations with our traders during success stories, I hear those compliments towards Khalid, because he's a trader. You know, the slogan "Built by Traders for Traders" is not just a slogan. It's actually built by traders for traders. What does that mean? That means what we talked about before: the connection from trader to trader, the understanding of every single step of the struggle that you have to go through as a trader. Now, the struggles will be different, the life path will be different, but as traders, there is a certain cycle that we go through. And I want to highlight one thing. Even when Fahad said that he had become a profitable trader, a year later, he blew all of his accounts. Because being a profitable trader doesn't mean you're now on the rise, you never lose an account, you never lose money. No, you still do. You will still get the accounts, get the rewards. You may lose the account. You will get the account back. You will get the rewards. You may lose the account. And one of the things that Fahad has really highlighted here is the work on yourself, the psychology. And when it comes to psychology, whether that's trading psychology or general psychology, we are our own greatest project. That's it. Invest in yourself in terms of your own education, growing yourself, your mindset, and that is going to flourish. Who can do that? Even when we do our live trading psychology sessions on Fridays, I can talk for 5 hours, give you all of the theories, knowledge, and even worksheets to fill in. But if you will not put in the work and mentor yourself, no one can help you. That's why I resonate so much with what you are saying, Fahad. Now, I want to go into the questions because we have a lot. So guys, please start posting questions on YouTube comments so I can read it out to Fahad, and I will pick a few best ones. But before I do, Fahad, what would be one piece of information that you would give to a trader who might be struggling, might be not, or is just a trader, or is kind of considering to join funding pips as well? So I guess it's a two-ended question. What would be your advice to a trader?
So yeah, so as always traders, when you tell someone that I'm struggling as a trader, they will highlight, they will be like, maybe improve your strategy, maybe your psychology, you get, maybe you are not so focused. Those actually, that's general knowledge. But one thing they don't tell you, it's deep. Trading is a funny business, or it's a funny game. Sometimes you will do the right thing and still lose. So if the earlier you understand that, you are going to be okay when it comes to your psychology, when it comes to your technical analysis. I repeat, even if you do the right things, you can still lose. But most people, they do the right things, they lose, and they'll be like, you know what? No, let me go back again. No. Even if you lose, because you know that if you have done the right thing and you have lost in the right track, you are not going to go back. You are going to rest and come back tomorrow.
Yes,
So
because you know what, with trading, this is the brilliant advice, because in trading, and this is what discourages people, in trading, you can wait for your setup, be patient for 3 hours for the price to get to your level, do everything right psychologically, meditate in the morning, write in a journal, plan for it, stay patient, read a book, do the perfect entry, wait for that confirmation entry, enter the trade, and still lose. And that's when traders go, well, what's the point then? I may as well just go wild. No, allow for the period of time to go by for that system to work out. So this is the greatest advice. Now, question. I have questions from our viewers. There's loads. The stream is going crazy, and there is so much appreciation for you, Fahad. There is so much inspiration here that is expressed by our traders. They love your story. They love what you are saying. And I think you are actually going to help so many different people through your words and through what you have shared with us. So thank you so much for that. So I have a question from a trader. My question is how to regain confidence, because every time I enter my direction that's supposed to be right, I take a loss. How to control the greed?
Okay. So first of all, in your question, actually the question already has a mistake. In trading, we don't have anything like supposed to be right. No. So I always tell people that someone to be greedy, someone to lose confidence, this is all about how you prepared your capital. How have you prepared your capital? You get? Because people only focus on technical analysis, what, but also the capital we have has to be prepared. You have to prepare this capital. Because if your capital is well prepared, you are not going to be greedy because you know what exactly you are doing, okay? And you will not lose confidence in case you are hit. For example, this is me. This is how I do it. So let me give you this plan. How I do it. Simple when it comes to funding pips. I buy one account, which is 100K, okay? So that account, that 100K account, I know I have to pass it. 1 week is for passing it. I'm lucky if I pass it in 2 days, but I give it a full week to pass it. Okay. Week 2 for phase 2. Okay. So, but as soon as, this is how I prepare my capital, as soon as I pass phase 1 and phase 2, I take that account as it is already done. So I had to add another account there, and then I buy another account there, and then I never
Okay.
buy 2 accounts at once.
Okay.
You get? So I'm showing you how I'm preparing my capital. So remember, as soon as you pass phase 1 and phase 2, you have almost 3 days of waiting for funding people to process your what? To process your payout. So this is where the problem always comes in. Someone waits for 3 days to process the entire account, to give the master account. So during those 3 days, you start bringing in actually impossible dreams.
Yes.
Do you know that I can make 20% on this account? You start checking every email which comes in. You know, whenever you start checking emails which are coming, that maybe your account has come in, it shows you are now losing it. You are off that track. You get? So those dreams which come with only those 3 days, because the human brain is like a computer. Only those 3 days of resting, waiting for the process, they are going to kill your master account. So to avoid that, this is what I do. I buy another account. All my focus now goes on how I pass this account.
Beautiful.
Because I know whenever if I pass the other account, if the review is over, I have followed the rules, then they are going to give me, because that's why I tell you guys, that's why I decided to stick with Finding Pips. Because on other platforms, you'll be worried. Did I miss any rule? You get? But here, all the rules are written. It's like a Bible or a Quran. I have the rules here. Okay, I can even download the entire PDF and I check the rule they are talking about. You get? So I'm sure my account will be there, the master account will be there. So why do I have to worry about it? So all I do is buying another account to cover this space, to protect my emotions and my overthinking.
And keep focus.
So, yes. So I start implementing the same strategy on this new account. Like the other one doesn't even exist. You get? So this account you have bought, it is the protector. Because remember, you can't pass this challenge in 3 days. But in 3 days, they will give you a master account. So remember, my plan is to make 5% per payout. Okay? So if I make 5%, I leave that account, I even forget about it. Because I have the protector. I have another job to do. I have to pass another account. You get? But this is what traders do. You make 5% because you are like, you didn't prepare your capital well. You didn't prepare your capital well. You make 5% to be like, I have made 5% on Monday. I still have 13 days to go. What am I going to be doing? Okay? Then you'll be like, what if I'm number 4 on the leaderboard?
Yes.
You know? Now the leaderboard thing comes in. You'll be like, what if I push more and I'm number 10 on the leaderboard? Do you know that I can make 6%? Trump has a speech tomorrow. You get? But use your protector. A new account is always the protector until you reach the maximum allocation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. You stay focused, and some of you may take that approach now, but I completely see it and I agree with it completely too. Now, I have another question, which is more about trading psychology, I suppose. It's, can you share a time when you had to overcome a significant emotional challenge in trading?
Yes. So most of the people around me know this. In 2022, it was 2022, I was, you know, when you are coming up as a trader, there are things you say and you be like, you know what, that's why you should always be keen on whatever you see on social medias. You should be selective on the information you feed your brain, because this is a computer. Whatever you see, it is being fed here. You get? And trust me, you can't pretend that, yeah, you know what, for me, I'm not looking. You will see and you will save, and the brain will push you to implement what you have seen. You get? So in 2022, I made one of the biggest mistakes in trading, and it costed me a lot. In 2022, I wanted to carry out an investment program. Never try this. Never. Never. And beginner traders, they'll be like, you know what? It takes a lot of time to pass a challenge. It takes a lot of time to get capital. You have funding peeps. Buy a challenge, put your strategy there, will be paid. Me, I never had someone to tell me this, what I'm sharing with you. For me, I ran an investment program. And I was still a kid. I was still at university. I lost that money. That's almost 100K. I lost that money. I'm still at university. People gave me their money and they wanted insane returns. 15% per month, it's unachievable. I only understood it after going deep into my mind. I was like, even a prop farm challenge, making 10% a month, it can be a problem. So I lost that money. After losing that money, I had to pay back. I had to meet the people who gave me their money, to explain to them that I really lost the money, but I'm going to pay back. But I didn't have anything. I didn't have money on me. So this is the strategy I used. First, it disturbed me. I used to lose, I lost a lot of accounts during that period, psychologically, because I was like, it was like I was depressed, sit in front of the computer the entire day, someone who used to give out free education. Now I started charging people. You get? So I was like, what's the problem? How much at all these people are demanding me? Actually, I always tell people that the best medicine for your brain, it's writing down your challenges. It's like reminding the brain, because if you remind the brain the challenges you have, the brain will simplify the challenges. So I wrote down the people who were demanding me, the money they were demanding me. It was a lot. In Uganda, that's like 360 million.
Wow.
I'm someone who totally broke. I told mom I went at university for education purposes, but then I ran an investment program. So after writing these people down, I was like, how am I going to pay these people? Should I go and run another investment program? I use that money to pay these people. But I answered myself, that will become a Ponzi scheme. At the end, I'll eat the tunnel where I will stop somewhere. You can't run away from it. So I was like, you know what? Whenever I'm in a hole, I don't want to dig more. You get? So I was like, I'm stopping here. Let me see what to do. So that's when I started giving all my focus on prop farms. So this is how I used the money from prop farms. Whenever I get like 10K, I take that 10K in my personal account, in my personal account. I use EA. There is an EA I have which counts daily drawdown and overload drawdown. I approach that 10K like the way I approach my prop farm account. Because many people used to tell me that the money you get from prop farms, maybe invest it in here, invest here. I was like, how am I going to pay this 300 million? That's 100K. How am I going to pay this money? So it's trading took the money. I have to get money from trading, and if I want to be successful as a trader, I have to first take people's money out of my pockets. So I used to take, whenever I get 10K, I collect 10K on my bank account. As soon as I cross 10K, I cross that money into the brokerage account. I scale it so I could pay these people monthly. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just returning your funds. Okay, I'm just returning your funds. I lost the money. You all saw that I lost the what? The money. I provided evidence. So they started telling me that for me monthly, give me $1,000. Monthly, give me $600. You get? So I could list that money and I'll be like, you know what? Whenever I make 600, even if that month I'm to pay like let's say if I'm to pay like $3,000, if I make it in the first week, I'm done for that month because I can eat and sleep. Because if I pay them their monthly money, then I'm okay. You get? So to simplify your question, how I fought this psychological issue, it was writing down. Okay? whenever they tell traders that do a journal, traders run to technical analysis. That my journal, it shows my
Yes,
entry levels, my exit levels. That's not a
yes,
journal, because your entry levels and exit levels, a broker is going to have them. If you go on my funding PIP today, they will show you that I executed at this price and closed at this price. That's not a journal. Your journal should be about you. How did you feel when you were trading today? How did you feel when you were losing? Were you excited when you were winning? Okay. So those are the things for me I focus on. When it comes to my journal, it's me. I'm the journal. Okay. Some
amazing.
people have not even yet realized that maybe they trade more when they are having a big screen, or they trade more when they're having a
Yeah,
small screen. That's
yeah,
all part of the journal. You find, for example, like me, back then when I was still trading, finding myself, I used to like a big screen, like the one I have now. It's a curved big screen, but I rarely even open charts on it because I prefer my phone. That's where I am, because I noticed that whenever I'm on my phone, all my focus is on this small thing. I don't need a very big thing to scare me. I'm on this small thing here. All my focus is here, and this is how I'm getting paid. But how did I find out that? It's by journaling myself. You get?
yes,
Do you know how you feel when your stop loss is being hit on a big screen than a small
yes,
screen? It also makes a difference.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly what I talk about in trading psychology series all the time. All the time. I'm so glad that I have a living proof here with 50,000 in rewards talking about this.
yeah. So people should learn that journals, it's them. Journals, it's always them.
Yes.
Not technical analysis. It has nothing to do with technical analysis. Okay. For me, I reached even a level when I was trying that, when I was starting that project of paying people. And I choose funding people as the clear source of my money. Okay. Before, actually, whenever I buy a challenge, okay, if I buy a challenge today, 100K, even if I buy it in the morning, I will not trade it. I have to first think the entire day, why did I buy it? What's the target? The other thing I talked about, preparing your capital. But many people don't know that it also has an effect. You buy an account and you lose 5% on that day. Your next challenge,
Mm,
you will do the same because you are in shock. How can I buy an account? Then I lose it today.
yes.
You get? So that's how I deal with my psychology.
Amazing. And you know what? I tell you guys, this is actually neuroscience here. When Fahad says that he writes down his problems and what is blocking him, that's actually you facing it. Because a lot of the time, what people do is they lock it away as if it never happened and they try to move on and think, let me not focus on the problems. I will move forward now. No, actually, writing it down is bringing it to life. You're materializing it from your thoughts into the paper. That is you facing the problem and saying,
Yeah.
okay, this is my problem. I feel uncomfortable with that problem. It's making me feel a certain way, but I'm going to find a way of dealing with it. And I need to clearly change a pattern of behaviors and choices and thought processes to change that because I don't want to end up in the same outcome over and over again. So, not only that, you have been very persistent, Fahad, with all of your journey that you went through. On top of that, there was the investors' money too, and it didn't break you. It made you find a solution, and I really respect that about you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for talking with us, by making us proud, for being our trader at Funding Pips, and for really deeply sharing all of your insight, because you have changed lives today. I just want to let
Thank
you
you
know
so much.
you have changed lives
Thank
today, and a part of my life is changed after a conversation with you. It's been extremely impactful, and thank you for that. You will see
thank
Fahad
you
a
so
lot more. I want to keep it a secret at the moment, but I just want to say that you will see him a lot more, and we will talk about it soon. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Please comment after this video is over on YouTube and tell us what inspired you the most about Fahad's story, because I am pretty sure there is a lot of things, because there is a lot of things on my side. So thank you so much. Fahad, last words to traders?
Yeah, so one thing I can tell you traders, trading is already difficult. You should not be allied. Trading is already difficult, but withdrawing should be made easy. Okay, so always find something which won't make your trading difficult. Try to find something which makes everything for you simpler. For example, me personally, I no longer buy challenges in other firms, not because they are bad, not because they are not capable, but simply because I know someone who can do better, someone who can pay me instantly as I want. You get? So trading is difficult, make withdrawals easy. That's the statement I always use. Then the last thing I can pass out is, as I have informed you here, I don't do any mentorship. I don't do any signals. So I don't want to be wasting your time, because I know it happens. I always see it. People do it. As soon as someone leaves alive, they'll be like, how much is your mentorship? I don't do that. I will not help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, appreciate your time. And guys, thank you so much to Fahad. I'll talk to you soon. And I'll
Thank you
give the
so much.
surprise to all of the traders. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. And please come and attend our Friday Trading Psychology series at 5 p.m. Dubai time. And perhaps take the lesson from Fahad and focus on yourself and do the work for yourself, because your future self will thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. Funding Pips. Built by traders for traders.